Hello everybody, my name is Loco, and today we're going over UITableView, how to add and delete cells. We're going back to the very basics. And we're going to be using Xcode 9, Swift 4. All you really need to do is just know how Swift kind of works and then understand how to use storyboards. And you should be able to follow along. It's a pretty beginner, pretty essential tutorial. So most of you guys should know. And if you would like the starter project, you can go ahead and enroll at this website right here, kiloloco.com/p/YouTube, and you can enroll for free and get the starter project, get the finished project, and be all cool like your boy Kyle Lee. So this is what we're going to be building, right? It's going to look something like this. Actually, it's going to be this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to be able to add. So let's say we want to add desserts, right? So we'll add some chocolate cake, and we're going to add it. And then it's going to do a nice fancy little animation. But we want to add something else like nasty carrot cake, right? Because some people like carrot cake and it's kind of disgusting, and then some people like pie, so we'll add pie in there too. So let's go ahead and add some pie, and look at everything's being added to the top with a nice sexy animation. We like nice sexy animations on ice cream, right? That's how we like it. So this is what we're going to be doing, and then we're also going to be going over how to delete. So you just pull, do that, or you just, slide all the way to the left. And that's pretty cool. You could do these things because we only like nice, sexy animations with ice cream and chocolate cake, not those other two, right? So let's get into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up that Xcode project, and let's just go over what's going on right here so that nobody's confused. Right. All right, so let's start off on our storyboard. As you can see, we have it embedded into a navigation controller. Completely unnecessary. We just like things to look nice. And we have the preferred large titles. Once again, not necessary, but hey, whatever. And then we have our table view, just regular table view right here, table view. Not the table view controller, just a regular table view. And then we have our bar button item, and that's pretty much it. Everything's all connected. And when we tap that add button, it triggers this logic right here, which will create an alert. And in that alert, we have a text field, and it's just going to have enter dessert for the placeholder. And then when we press add, what it's going to do is it's just going to print out whatever dessert that we decided to enter in there. Right, Kyle, right. All right, so we have our table view IB outlet right here, and then we have an array of strings, which is going to represent our desserts. And down here in our extension, of course, in an extension, we're going to have our UITableView data source, which is going to let us do all kinds of cool things like number of sections, number of rows in that section, and then create the cell. And as you can see, we're just using a default cell, setting the text label to whatever dessert is at that index path.row. So that's all you really need to know. So just to show you where we're at so far, let's go back over to the simulator. This is the completed project. We don't want that. We want the uncompleted starter project, which is this one. And what we're going to do is we're just going to say apple pie. And if it's still connected, we should be able to press add, and we'll see right here. Let me put this over my head. We'll see right here in the logs that it is printing out, because right here that action is printing it out. All right, you guys already know that stuff, so I'm gonna stop talking about the stuff that you guys already know. Let's talk about the stuff that you might not know, which is how to actually insert that into the table view. Now some people might be like, oh yeah, you just do self.desserts .append, and then you'd append that dessert, and you would just do self.tableview.reload data, right? Because yeah, that would work, and it would reload, and it would add them, and it would actually be like first in, first out. So whatever was put in first will be at the top. Whatever's put in second will follow under that, third, fourth. I think you guys kind of get the picture right there, right? Right. I think so. All right. So let's just say we're going to have cake. And then see, no sexy animation. That's kind of unsexy actually. And then we have pie, right? And once again, no sexy animation. And then ice cream, right? So it's cool. It's doing kind of what we want it to, but not really. I want them to come in like when I put in, when I put in nasty old cheesecake, you're like, oh, Kyle, cheesecake isn't nasty. I wanted to be in right there above cake. Right? So I want it to be at the top, and I want it to be sexy when I put it in there too. So let's make something that's a little bit nicer than that, something that looks a lot better. And what we'll do is we'll add a brand new function, and I'll just call this one add. You can go ahead, call it whatever you want, and I'm gonna put an underscore because I like to just say add this thing right here, and that thing is going to be a dessert, and dessert is going to be of type string. Bam, just like so. Yeah. All right, so what are we going to do with this dessert? Well, we want to put it into our desserts array, and we want to put it in at a specific index. So let's create an index. Let index equal, well, where do we want to put it? We want to put it at the very first index, which remember, arrays are 0 index. So we'll put it in at 0. Then what we'll do is, let's see, Kyle got to think for some reason. I don't know why. Then what we have to do is we have to access our desserts array. We have to say insert new element, which is going to be a string because this is an array of strings at index, right? So we'll choose that one, and we're going to say the new element is going to be that dessert that we're passing in right there. Oh yeah, see how this is coming together? You see how it's coming together so nicely? I like it. All right, so now what this will do is it will insert anything that's new into the very first position of our array. All right, that makes sense. But how do we do it to the table view? Well, we have to do something similar. Instead of index, which we're going to still use the index, we want to create an index path. So let's do let index path equal initialize the index path. And since this is a table view, what we're going to do is we're going to do row index or integer and then section integer, right? So we're going to pass in our index for the row that we want to insert it at, and the section is going to be 0 because we only have one section, or 0 index on section, so 0. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Anyway, what we want to do now is we're going to access our table view. We're going to say insert rows. Well, we only want to insert one row, but it has to be an array, right? So we'll just pass in an array of our single index path. And then the animation, well, they're like saying, hey, how do you want to make this sexy? And I'm like, oh, well, you can choose how you want to make it sexy. I mean, you could have it come in from the bottom, you could have it fade in, come in from the left, which is kind of cool too. You know what, we're going to do it from the left because that one looks kind of cool. So we'll just do left. For the most part, you can just do automatic. You choose how you want things to be sexy. Sexy is in the eye of the beholder, right? Right. So now what we want to do is we want to call this new function, the add function, and we want to say self because we're inside of a closure, add, and we're going to pass in our dessert. Hey, that was pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Good job, Kyle. Thank you. Thank you very much. I try. So what we're going to do is we'll get our dessert from whatever's in the text field. We'll pass it into our add function. Our add function will insert it into the array. It will also insert it into the table view, and then it will display nice and properly. So if we go ahead and do this and we say pumpkin pie because 'tis the season, we're gonna add that, and hey, look at it, came in from the left because that's kind of cool, right? What else do we like? We like pumpkin, Kyle doesn't know how to spell, sorry guys. Pumpkin spice, I don't know, that's not even like a dessert on its own, but yeah, see how it's coming in from the left? So we decided to make it sexy from the left. All right, so that's how you add. But hey, Kyle, you know what, like You know, I didn't want pumpkin spice in there. How do we delete this right here? Let's get that out of there. All right, well, give me a second. I mean, gosh, I just showed you how to add. Come on. So what we want to do is we want to go back over to our extension where the table view data source is at, and the data source has another method which you can access. That's an optional method which has it's called commit editing style. So if you choose that first one, it's going to be table view commit editing style for row at index path. All you have to really do is just type in commit and it will be the first table view one, right? So go ahead and select that one, and there's really just like two editing styles. You can either add editing style is equal to dot, so you could either, you know, insert or delete, and this insert isn't the same insert that we have right here because we're just manually doing it. If you were to do like press an edit button and then turn the table view into editing style, then you know, then you can access this one, which I'll cover in a different video. Right now we're just inserting and deleting, just simple and straight away. Anyway, so what we want to do is we want to make sure that the editing style is delete. So what we'll say is guard editing style is equal to delete, or else don't even talk to me because I don't like you, right? And then if it is delete, then what we can do is we can actually remove. First, we need to remove the actual item from the array that we're referencing, right? So we have to access our desserts array, and we have to say dot remove at, and it's going to pass in the index path right here, the index path dot row, index path dot row c. Oh, C. And then what we want to do is we want to do the same thing, but for the table view. So we'll do table view dot remove or is it delete? It's delete. Delete rows at index path, and since it already gives us the index path, once again we just pass it in as an array of that single index path. And you know what, we came in from the left, let's do automatic because the automatic one looks pretty solid. We're just gonna do automatic because that is pretty sexy. That's as sexy as it gets. I mean, they make it all red and fancy, and it, like, you know, turns into like this small little red line. It's really cool. So we're just going to say automatic, keep it sexy with the automatic. All right, so since we're not using persistence, all of our stuff is gone. So let's go back and just add in some pumpkin pie. Let's add in some carrot cake. Let's add in some cookie dough ice cream. And let's delete carrot cake. Right, see, so now that we have the commit editing style, it automatically gives us this functionality which will let us drag to the left and delete it if we click here, or we can make it go back if we just click on the other part, or we can just slide it all the way to the left and it will delete, which is pretty cool. So for my Mexicans, what we can do is we can be like buñuelos, right? And we could add that in, and let's say they didn't like pumpkin pie, so we could just go ahead and delete that. Cookie dough ice cream, we could delete that, and now all we have is them buñuelos. Boy, look at that, look at that. All right, so that's how you add, and that is how you delete. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool, right? Well, Kyle doesn't know how to spell, so then just delete it. So nobody knows that he doesn't know how to spell. Anyways, that was adding and deleting from your table view, deleting those cells, adding those cells. Yeah, so if you liked the video, thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, thumbs up, and a comment why you didn't like the video. And then, you know, reach out to me on Twitter at @kilo_loco, and then make sure you subscribe, you little guy. And yeah, be on the lookout for some new stuff from Kilo Loco. Yeah. All right. signing out, guys. Code passionately.